Hello. I should go, let's go. I think, oh my goodness. Alright, here we go, here we go. This is, an optional dungeon for Heavensward. It's the lowest level one that you can do, but it is optional. The Dusk Vigil. Alright, so just a reminder, I've got my duty information here. This is the party portraits, okay? Party list is over here with our health and all these things. And I made sure to have my tank stance on. And we're off. So I'm gonna grab this first pack of ads, and then here in the mini-map you can see that there's nothing up here, so you have to make a turn. So I'm making a turn over there to the right side. So there's just snow over here. I double checked, but yeah. But then we go over here. This guy comes up, and so grab all that. And technically, the path has opened up, and you see the little tails. Feathers of this other thing over there. But if you want to take it slow, it's fine, take it slow. Watch out for all these AoEs here. But if you want to keep going, then you can keep going. I think it's just hanging out there waiting for us. Oh no, it's going away now. We're chasing it. So yeah, technically you can grab all those things and go this way if you want to, because of the opening. Oh, again, here it's tricky. You might think you go this way, but there's nothing here, as you can see. So we have to make another, like you said. It's very windy. It's like, it's meant to confuse you and get you lost in the snowy mountains. Okay. So here I am taking it a little bit slower. But again, you can keep going if you'd like. There's no issues with taking it slower. Here we got another big guy. So this one I am going to go up and bring him to this other set of ads over here. When I'm tanking this, I'm generally turning my camera around a lot. Like I face the party per usual. Like I'll go up here and then turn back around to look that way. Because usually party members will be hanging out in the back. In this situation, I mean, they go wherever they want, right? And that's fine. But for consistency, I usually will run myself away from everybody and then turn the boss around. Just so that they see the backside instead of standing in front. Just in case of like cleaves and things like that. Alright, so here we've got an AoE that's baited on somebody. Looks like if you don't move, you take a decent amount of damage. So make sure to get out of the way. Okay. Here is the stone steel lever that we want. For some reason, this guy was the one that was holding the lever, so yeah. Make sure you interact with it to grab it, and someone else did. So you obtain the steel lever, okay, and then now we click on this damage winch to say winch. Winch. Okay, first boss, this elephant Olifant thing. So here I turn the boss. See, this is northish, you know, I'm like up here. And I turn the boss away from everybody in case it does any tank cleaves, like that. Okay, see, it did tank cleave there. So watch out for those things. People will be in the back, someone will get targeted and there's nothing you can really do. They get this thing down for the count, and that means they're just kind of stuck there. They can't move or do anything for a while. And then the boss will do this like cone on them, and so they can't move. But if you are nearby, there's one person here, there's one person here, you just don't stand in this. Okay? And healers will have to make sure to heal up the person who was targeted. So it looks like he got sucked in a little bit, and then oh, this person got tossed up too. Were they in the way? They end up getting closer. Hard to see because the boss is right here, but yeah, well, somehow they got into that, so they did take some damage. Okay, so now both of them are down for the count, actually. Okay, so then now we've got this other person who is targeted. And they are down for the count now, and this move, Route, does a 9 AoE towards the person that it was targeting. And for this one, I believe people can stack together so that they can take some of this damage, so one person doesn't take all the damage. But if you are at like full health, for the most part, people don't stack up because it's not usual that people will stack together for AoEs and things like that. So it's fine if you don't. But in some cases, you might see people running into this move. And if they do intentionally run into it, it's likely because they know that you can share their damage for this. But it's also fine if you don't do that. Because it's kind of confusing, like, oh, which one can you share, which one you can't. So the best I can say really is that the healer should make sure to heal up the people who get targeted for things. Prehistoric trumpet. This is a raid wipe. Yeah. Okay, someone got targeted again. Oh, looks like everyone happened to be in the way during that, and so they all got hit with it. And then now there's this AoE here. Okay, so everyone gets absorbed closer, and then they get knocked backwards. And then, okay, Route. It's targeting this one person, and it's gonna charge towards them. And you can't remove this debuff or anything. It just sits there. Okay, so, oh yeah, so that person took a significant amount of damage. And so yeah, healers, make sure you're keeping an eye on people in this fight. You can't remove debuffs. You can't control who gets targeted. Tank-wise, you stay in the front and take these front cleaves, and you can mitigate and things for it. If you're confident in running into the charging one, the route one, the line AoE one, to help take some of the damage, then do that. But if not, keeping the boss kind of positioned, like, you can't do too much in this fight, unfortunately. You kind of just have to deal with taking the damage and then healing people up. Alright, but that's that. It's mostly a healer check, honestly. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna grab these ads. Yeah. Grab this other one. I'm gonna do a bigger pull here. So I'm gonna continue down the way. And it might not look like there's anything here. It might look like just one, but actually there's like these dudes on the ground, and they're gonna come back to life. So you gotta make sure to pick them up. I noticed my health was getting low, and I also knew there was gonna be another pack up here that I was gonna grab. So I hit my invuln, but I actually mistimed it because it takes a while for these dudes to like come back to life, and so my invuln didn't proc. Because for Dark Knight, the invulnerability thingy works when you go to 0 health and you die. But the healers got my back, so it was all good. But yeah, so you go from the back there, go all the way up to this area, and then grab all these ads that pop up. Inside this room, there's also a bunch of ads, so make sure you pick those up too if you want to do like a big pull. And then here's some extra ones from the room back there. You can also just take this slow. It's no big rush. Maybe people will rush you because like they don't want to run through the entire thing so slowly, but you know, if you're tanking it, you're having a hard time with the bigger packs, then just let people know that you're new to it and stuff. It's okay. Right, so here we got a key, so we gotta pick that up, just interact with it, and then we'll open this door. Yeah. These will come up for like leveling roulettes and things like that. These kind of optional dungeons. So I think you'll experience, okay, here again, there are dudes just hanging around who are on the ground, but they're gonna come back to life. So make sure to pick those up. Yeah, so these optional dungeons are mostly there just to have extra content in the game and to have more variety when people are leveling and stuff, and so you're likely gonna experience more people who want to rush these dungeons. So especially these like lower level ones, when people are trying to level up their alt classes and things like that. So I'd say just kind of go into it expecting, you know, a variety of types of people. Okay, so there was a key here, so we gotta pick up the key, and then we open this door. Next boss. Okay, so this boss, you can see here there's a bunch of dudes on the ground. So as you saw in the ads section, they're gonna come back to life. So I turn the boss here. Okay, he's gonna do this thing called brain drain a bunch of times. So we're all gonna get hit with, you know, a bit of a raid wide, and then some of the dudes on the ground are gonna come back to life. Okay, so as tank I am gonna try to grab them just so that the aggro is on me. And you do want to take them down at the beginning, but after a certain amount of time, it might be better to just focus on the boss. So they did this move that gave the boss this damage up. I think it was the, what was the cast called? This. Rictus, whatever. So when they're doing that, the boss gets damage up, so he'll do more damage to me. Okay. Oh, and then the boss is doing brain drain again, so we're gonna get hit with a raid wide, and then probably more ads. So after these guys are done with like boosting the boss, they then kind of walk towards me. But some of them won't. See, these ones are like warriors and knights and things like that, but then there's some with like rods, which means they're casters, so they're not gonna come towards me. Okay, so some of them are, that means that some are melee ones where you have to go close to attack, and some can stand far away and attack from far away. So you gotta watch out for those. It's easy enough with the melee ones because they'll come towards me and then I can use my AoE attack, and that's fine. But yeah, okay, so this death spiral thing, it's basically a donut. So you want to stay closer to the boss when this happens. If you stand outside, you'll get hit with a bunch of damage. I don't have footage of it, but I did run it again in another video. Another run. And I got hit with like 2k, so it was like, you know, if you're not a tank, it's like half your damage or so. Yeah, I'm not gonna pull it up. You just get hit with a lot of damage. You don't die necessarily, but you get hit with it. Okay, so alright, so back here we got a few other dudes. Oh, they're doing this thing called Lifeless Wind. So there's some swooshing happening. Okay, a lot happening right here. So they're casting stuff, and then the boss is doing death spiral. What was the lifeless wind? Was that just a raid away? It looks kind of like they got boosted. And the boss didn't get any extra thingy. This lifeless window. Okay, I didn't see anything there. But it looks like they've got something. What is it? Oh, are they just coming back to life? Is that what it is? Okay, so this one's casting Blizzard, so that one's like a black mage. Chirurgeon. Okay. Okay, so this AoE is probably from this one over here. Because it's oh wait, no, it's probably the other one because this one's running. Okay, so one of them's doing Blizzard, Dark Blizzard, and the other one's doing just regular Blizzard. And then the boss did this, the donut thingy. Okay, so we're gonna have to heal through some of this stuff here. Okay, yeah, and then we got the death spiral donut thingy. Yeah. And then we got extra ads here. Okay, so this can get confusing. So we got one ad doing Rictus, which is gonna boost up the boss. This other one is doing Blizzard, which will attack us, okay. Lifeless Wind, I think this is, I'm not sure what this actually does. It didn't do us damage or anything, it might just be them coming back to life. But this one's the damage up. Black Eruption, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, I'm targeting it. Let's see. Black Eruption. Oh, this one got damage up. Oh, this one got damage up too. Oh, this one got a haste. Damage up. Okay, so basically they're all just boosting each other. So this one here has haste, damage up. So the longer you stay in this fight, the more these dudes are gonna like give each other buffs, and the more difficult it will be. So typically people will just and then you got AoEs going everywhere because of these variations of blizzards and things like that. Okay, so typically what people will do is just focus on the main boss, Sir Ymilmeric here. Okay. Oh, and then we got this like cone. We got a lot of circle AoEs, which is likely the blizzard thingies, and then we got the cone thing, which is what the main dude was doing. So you wanna, oh yeah, and then we got this stuff, and then I'm still getting auto attacks and things like that from everybody. Okay, so from the get-go, okay, it will, well, at the beginning it seems like not that big of a deal because, you know, you had two come up. But over time, just a bunch of them will continuously get brought up. And so healers make sure that you are keeping people healed up with AoE heals and things like that. And I would say stay closer to the main boss because every now and then he's going to do this death spiral thing. And you want to stay inside so you don't get hit out here and possibly get half your health taken out, okay? And then with all the new ads, you can go try to fetch them, but then that just means the main boss is like running around everywhere, and so you could just try to stay still, but at the same time there's also those AoEs in there, so you gotta be careful. But focusing on the main boss is a strategy that most people will do, because as soon as you take down the main boss, all the other ads just disappear. So yeah, it looks chaotic. Just heal through it. Focus here. And there we go. See, as soon as he goes down, everybody else literally disappears. Like, even if they still had like some health and stuff on them, they go away pretty quickly. Okay. It all happens so fast. But yeah, just stay in the donut. Healers, throw out your AoE heals. It should be fine. Okay, moving on. We've got another set of ads here. This thingy, this wind thingy, will give you frostbite, which is just damage over time. So you don't want to like stand in it, or stand still in it for too long. Actually, like I think some sections have it and some don't, or it just happens every now and then. Okay. Also, here I'm grabbing these ads and I'm going forward, and here we're going this way. There's nothing up here, except there's a treasure coffer if you want it. And then I'm gonna turn left. And I'm gonna do this trick, it's called line of sight. These sprites do not move because they do range attacks. They don't move unless they can't see you. And this ice trap also doesn't move that much unless it can't see you. So, for example, here. And the ice trap is here. So you can kind of see in the mini map that I'm moving up and there's another red dot following me, but there's a red dot in the back here. That's the ice trap. Okay. It does range attack, and so it doesn't follow me because it can still see me. It's kind of following me, but I kind of am going further up. I want to grab all these sprites, and I'm bringing them back over here to this corner, and then like I'm parking myself behind this wall so that all the ads come to me and I can AoE all of them down all together just right here in this wall. So that's a little trick that I learned in this dungeon, to bring them all together. Just tank stuff. You don't have to do this or anything. You can just take care of the packs, like one in the back over there, and then take care of this one. That's also fine. But this is a good place to practice line of sight tanking. Okay. More sprites to deal with. There's a lot of like twists and turns in this place. Okay, also you see that bird? We saw it earlier, it like walked away before too. That's the main boss. It's kind of like foreshadowing this whole time. Okay, again, there's like this wind stuff happening, so you're gonna get your damage over time. So just, if you have low health, the healers, just be aware that everybody will get this. Okay, so I'm bringing the little wolf up here to these sprites. And just park them here. Yeah, see, the wind thing goes away after a while. For a little bit there it went away, but then now it's back. So it just happens every now and then. If you are joining this dungeon and your health is like pretty low, what are we? I think the lowest level for this is 51. Yeah, so at this point, generally people will get their job stones. So as Dark Knight, I start as Dark Knight, but like paladins start as gladiators, and warriors are martyrs, and this bard was an archer before. So at this point, you should have your job stone, and you'll get extra spills, and you can wear. I think it's mostly about extra skills. I don't think it affects your gear that much, but you can also get good gear. If you're doing your job quests and things like that, you should be getting a level 50 set if you're really starting out, and that will give you an item level that's high enough to join like these other fights. But if your gear is just okay and you're able to join, oh, also back here is a treasure coffer behind this door. If you're like, you can't join a dungeon unless you have at least a minimum item level. So if you're able to get into the dungeon, that's cool. But if you have the lower end of the item level to get in and your gear is just so-so, then the healers might be like, what's going on here? So if you already know that your gear is not up to par, it's always fine to just let someone know. And if they give you grief about it, then it's like, well, technically the game said I can join, so yeah. Sometimes people like taking it easy, and sometimes they just get upset when it's not easy, but it's just, you know, you do what you can. Most people are really cool and chill about it though. Anyway, okay, sorry, I was rambling a little. I'm making these optional guides after like a long time, as I'm going back to make these, so I'm trying to like cover the basis of what a sprout would be going through during this point in the MSQ. So that's why I'm kind of trying to remember little things like that. Okay, so here, I turn the boss. Okay, usual stuff, I turn the boss. Notice here there's piles of rubble. We're going to use those at some point. Okay, so the bird, there's the bird that was flying around earlier in other areas of the dungeon. Okay, so it'll do this front slash thingy. So make sure you're not in the front with a tank. Only the tank should be up here. Also, tank, make sure you're pointing the boss away from everybody. Okay, but for this Alpine Draft, the bird. Usually I just default to saying the boss, but the bird. I'll call this with the bird. The bird is going to turn toward a random person. Turn towards this person. And it's going to do a line AoE. So you can easily just dodge out of that. And other people, make sure you're not standing in it. You have enough time to get out of it. Okay. And now, it just happens to target the same person. But this one, it can target another random person. And it will jump on them. Okay, so you don't want to be in that general area. But also, you don't want to be near the rocks, I think. Because if you are, then it'll break the rocks. And we need the rocks for stuff. Okay. So now the bird's back over here. Okay, it did the front tank stuff. Okay, some of the rocks went away. Okay. Oh, here we go. This move, Whirling Gowl. Gowl is like wind. This is the one we need to pay attention to. When you see this, you need to run behind a rock and hide. Because there's going to be this kind of whirlpool thingy in the center. It's like wind stuff. And if you don't end up standing behind a rock, you'll get sucked into this thing. And then you can't do damage, and you'll also get like tossed in the air. And you'll take some damage. You can still attack it though, from like a side. Like the ranged players can still attack things. And as the tank, it comes towards me over here, so I can still attack it. But soon after, because there's somebody behind me, like when this swirly thingy is done, I gotta turn the boss away so it doesn't hit the person next to me. Oh, okay, actually, this Winds of Winter will be a raid wide. Oh, so there's an AoE over here. I think just some rocks will drop over here. Yeah, okay, so don't stand over here when the rocks are dropping, but also the wind thingy that just happened. Where is it? What was it called? Winds of Winter? Yeah, Winds of Winter. If you're standing behind a rock, you won't get a debuff, but if you, like I moved off to the side, if you are not behind a rock, then you will get this thing. Wind resistance down. Okay. And so that means I'm not as resistant to wind, and its moves are basically wind moves, because it's a bird. And so I'll take more damage that are wind based. which is most of what it does, because this is a bird. Okay, so yeah, this person was not behind a rock, so they also got the same debuff as me, because I moved out. But these two are behind rocks. Okay, well, we got AoEs in the back, so there's going to be more rocks dropping over there. And here, resistance to wind damage is reduced. Okay. Alright, so after that, yes, you did slashes and things like that. So, like, after this whole situation, I was like, I need to move out of the way just in case. This person did run out of the way, so they wouldn't get hit with any, like, tank stuff, but in trying to be considerate of others and doing my job, I did get out of the way and, yeah, try to make sure people didn't get hit with that stuff. Okay, so here, like I said, there are, like, extra rocks now. These other rocks went away. Whirling Gowl again, though, so you gotta go hide behind the rocks, okay? It's kind of far away, so I'm running. You have a little bit of time to just get in there. Make sure you hide behind the thing. But if you don't make it, see, you'll get sucked in further. You get this feathered thing, and then you won't be able to attack and stuff. So you'll get tossed in the air. Oh, and you'll also get another wind resistance thing. Whirly Gig, 2000k damage, right? And so here, now we're gonna get another set of rocks over here, so. Okay, the original attacks we saw at the beginning of the fight are gonna happen again. So the Alpine Draft, it targets a random person, and it's gonna do a line AoE. So just get out of the way. Okay, tank stuff again. Clips me. This person's running all over the place. Okay, so then this person is getting targeted for this freefall. So wherever they are, it's gonna get jumped. They're gonna get jumped on. And then I happen to be standing here because they ran across the way, and so I got hit with it too. Okay, so you don't want to be around the person who's getting targeted for that. Back to tank stuff. Winds of Winter again, so if you want to avoid getting more debuffs, stand behind a rock. I ended up just standing here. So I got another one, so I'm up to 3 now. And then I took some damage from that. Oopsie. Oh, and then the rocks would drop again. Okay, that wasn't too bad. The biggest thing is that whirling wind thing in the middle. Whirling Gowl. Be sure to run behind a rock for those. And then you should be okay. It doesn't do too much damage, but if you're consistently getting... I'm inside the rock. If you're consistently getting tossed up into the air and you get many stacks of this thing like I did, then it can do some damage to you during those like AoE things, especially if you're not the tank. If you got like 5k or like 3k health or like just anything lower than that, yeah, you can possibly die. But for the most part, yeah, just avoid AoEs, avoid where the rocks are gonna drop, and yeah. Okay, hope you have fun. I hope that was informative. Goodbye.